It's the beginning of a new year and time to grow your business. Go to theslanted.com/business class, sign up for my business coaching class. I'll help you grow your business. Hi, this is JP Morgan. I am just loving being out here at Gettysburg. It's been such a great time to be here. This was where we shot our last shot of the day last night. We rolled in here at the very end of the day. The sun had already gone down. So we have our two cannons, we've got our Lincoln with a lantern, and we got the sky that's already dark, but just fading darker and darker. But what we're gonna do is just give us a nice long exposure on that ambient light with the shutter, bring that sky back into play, and set lights for everything else here. So let's look at our lighting breakdown. My first light was the lantern. I've got a speed light, I've got a pocket wizard. I taped those two together, then I taped that onto the back of the lantern. I had to use pocket wizards because the remote that's going to fire my Bajas will not fire a speed light. So I put pocket wizards on all of our lights, on the two Bajas we're going to use and on the speed light. Inside of the lantern, I've got a full CTO with a diffusion gel, and then I just taped that speed light with that pocket wizard to the back of the lantern. He's going to hold that. It's very Gorilla. We're going to see it when he moves around, but retouch it out, be no big deal. So there's our first light. We've got the lantern, gives us a nice glow on him, but doesn't really light his face. Now for our second light. Put a Baja B4, I've got a medium softbox, and I put a grid on it. I wanted to keep that light just kind of pooled around his body so it looks like it's coming from the lantern. So we added that second light, gave us a nice pool on him. So I moved that closer to the camera than I normally would do because I wanted to light his face more as if it's the lantern. So I moved it pretty close to the camera to get it up on that side. Then we took and put a grid on the camera right side, right behind the cannon. Got that grid and the light coming over the top of the cannon, lit up some of the cannon, gave us a nice rim on him, and it's also going to give us a place for our smoke to work in the background. So there's our three lights. Lantern, medium softbox with a grid on him to imitate the lantern, then a nice rim light on the camera right side that's going to give us a rim on him. It's a grid spot, largest grid we had, just to kind of open everything up. So here's the balancing act when you do a shot like this. The sky really becomes my background. I've got to keep that sky exposed correctly. The sky's getting darker and darker because the sun just went down. The sun had already gone down when we arrived. I started about a 30th of a second, but I'm just going to keep lengthening that shutter speed, try to keep that sky or background bright enough so it's going to work with the stuff we have in the foreground here. The foreground stays consistent. I'm at f5.6 because I've got my strobes. They're not going to change, but the background's changing constantly. So I just got to keep lengthening that exposure and keeping that background bright. I hit a point where it was so dark in the background and I had so little light up front that I put a vector light up. I dialed that way down, just become a little ambient light. I'm now up to a second exposure for the background, and so that little vector light actually became a great little glow in this area of the foreground, opened up the shadows just a little bit, made a nice look. So there's how we set up our shot last night. We were chasing the sun, extending that shutter speed to be able to give us that background and make it bright enough in the shot. Little vector light in the end, kind of open up the shadows. Really turned out to be a very nice shot. I love having this kind of combination of strobes and background and kind of bringing those together. I love chasing the sun. It's a great thing to do. I feel like I can shoot long after the sun's gone. Most people go, well, the sun's down, we're done. I'm going, that for me is just when I start. That's when I want to get going because I can keep exposing that in 1 second, 2 seconds. Just got to tell your talent to hold very still so you can be able to get your shot. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. We got some great shots out here at Gettysburg, so keep those cameras rolling, keep on clicking. So here it is, March, the month of leprechauns and little green things that you eat or whatever. But we've got a great giveaway. We've got a slider, we've got a genie, and a genie mini. This is a full 2-axis setup. Go to theslanted.com and sign up today for the luck of the Irish. Make sure you subscribe to the Slanted Lens and then get over to the store and buy yourself a t-shirt. Then send us a picture we can put on Facebook with you and your new t-shirt. Keep those cameras rolling, keep on clicking.